Hello, my lovely Leos, and a very warm welcome to your 2021-22 forecast. 2020, of course, a life-changing year, globally and personally. And 2021 has a slightly different flavor. There's certainly some challenging aspects to keep waking us up, to keep us moving, to create the kind of world that we're really looking for, that's inclusive for everybody, every single soul on this planet. And this year, the biggest, most consistent aspect that we are facing and working with is in fixed signs. You're a fixed sign. It is the Uranus in Taurus, square to Saturn in Aquarius. So for you as a fixed sign, it's especially going to affect you more than some of the other signs. But all the fixed signs are especially going to be more impacted by the meaning of this square. The square is strongest between February and July of 2021, and again, November, December. But all year, it is resonating closely enough for a square. For you, the square is between Uranus in the 10th and Saturn in the 7th house, career, relationships, who you are in the world and your relationships. Now, let's look at the wider meaning of this. So Uranus is about freedom. It's about breaking out. It's about not feeling so confined. And Saturn is about having certain structures in your life. We need certain structures. If you're going to have a meeting with somebody, you need the structure of a time as to when you're going to meet. So we need that, but how deep do those structures need to be? On the global level, we'll see a lot of fighting about personal freedoms and personal justices against authorities and rules and regulations and restrictions. So we're going to see that still playing out very strongly this year. And on the personal level for you, my lovely Leos, this is going to be about you looking at, what do I feel in my relationships? Am I feeling free? Am I feeling restricted? Am I feeling blocked? Am I limiting myself? Am I feeling lonely? What are the changes I need to make here? How can I feel more liberated and free in my relationships? Maybe you need to break out of a relationship, or at the least break out of a behavior pattern that you've been practicing within a certain relationship. Maybe the balance of the giving and receiving is way out of kilter. And it's about looking at the areas most of all in your life where you are limiting yourself. Maybe you're limiting yourself with respect to your career, your work. Maybe you need to break out of something that's mundane and boring and you're doing it robotically. And you need to break into something that gives you a sense of freedom and a big future ahead of you. Uranus is about a wide, endless future filled with possibilities. And if you don't feel that about your career, about your relationship, about your life, and things are too rigid and too orderly, it's time to look at, what do I need to change? I suggest at the beginning of the year or just before, you look at, what are my 3 top priorities now? Uranus in Taurus, shaking up your values. I think we've all had a shake up in what's important now. What matters, really matters to you? And then you put your focus on those life areas. And how can you begin to stop limiting yourself? It's very easy to look at governments and say they're doing this and that and the other. But more than that, often you're limiting yourself and your progress and your possibilities. So on the January the 7th, we've got Mars. It's been in your 9th house for many months, coming into your 10th house. until the beginning of March, energizing Uranus there. So this is a wonderful time for putting energy into your career, your work, for being proactive, for taking the initiative, maybe to starting your own business. It's a wonderful time, if you don't have a career, just to decide, I'm going to shine my light in this world somehow. What could I do? Where could I volunteer? Who needs what? And where might I fit in? What am I most interested in? How can I pursue those interests more than I've been doing? It's a year to break out of stagnant patterns, to become aware of what you're doing again and again and again that you're not excited about. When I do these videos, I've got to keep reinventing myself, because when I first think about doing 12 videos for all the signs, my heart sinks. It's like, oh my goodness, how can I come up with new information? And then I say, no, stretch, go beyond. Uranus in Taurus, it's affecting me too, deeply, this square. So how can I make something more interesting? What do I need to do? These are the questions to ask yourself. On May the 15th, Jupiter coming to join Neptune in the 8th house until the end of July. Wonderful time for deepening an existing relationship. You may be offered a very wonderful business opportunity that could be very lucrative. You may be looking at some investment opportunities. All kinds of possibilities about getting into a more intimate relationship with a soul connection. And it's a wonderful year for meeting somebody this year. For those of you wanting that, brilliant time. On July 28th, Jupiter will move back into your 7th house, stay there until the end of the year, and then it will move into the 8th again next year. So Jupiter in the 7th, you could get married. You can expand an existing relationship, take it on to a whole new level. On May the 29th, we've got a lunar eclipse happening in your 5th and a solar eclipse happening in your 11th on June 10th. So the eclipse is affecting the 5th and the 11th houses. So the lunar eclipse is showing you, hey, you must remember to have fun, to bring joy. You might decide that you're an entertainer. How are you going to entertain? Many Leos are. What are you going to do that's entertaining? Maybe you're going to take your musical instrument out. Maybe you're going to sing. Maybe you're going to dance. Maybe you're going to act. And this is shining a light on friendships, relationships, community, working with people, new opportunities in that area. Then the lunar eclipse, next one is on November the 19th, and that is here in your 10th house. And on December the 4th, a solar eclipse in the 5th. So the lunar eclipse in the 10th, shining a light and saying, where can you shine your light more? And it might be as simple as becoming conscious of whenever you meet somebody, of sending them a positive thought, of thinking kindly about every person that you speak to. It could be something very simple. Don't make something too big of these things. It's about practicing new patterns of behavior. And we've got this lovely new moon in the 5th, solar eclipse on December 4th. This can be a new romance. Could be a new business of your own, a new service, a product that you offer, and just a lot of seeds of new beginnings there. So I want to thank so many of you who support this channel on Patreon. Thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subbing. Bye for now.